And welcome to the first ever episode of Words Mean Things. I'm Mr. Heath.
And I'm Steven.
And it's time to do the Word of the Week.
This week, the word of the week is honor.
Honor. Like, I didn't do it, Your Honor. I wasn't even there.
Well, that's one aspect of honor, honored individuals, which is an entire thing in and of itself. Like, people who deserve inherent honor, who have inherent honor.
Right. So what is honor?
I would say honor's status, or status earned by doing something noble, if I had to define it off the top of my head.
So you see honor as being something that has been earned.
That's what honor should be.
Yeah. Okay, so honor in your, from your perspective, should be respect that has been earned.
Yes.
However, culturally, we are expected, I think, to honor people in certain positions, not because they have earned it, but simply because they exist in a place of elevated status, perhaps.
That could also be argued that you earned it, because it depends on your definition of earned, because old people are honored. Your elders are honored because they're old. They worked their way to reach that age, which could work.
But did they work to get that age, or did they just exist?
Yeah, plus you get into the part where, what if they did something bad and still got to that age?
Right.
And then, do we still honor them?
Culturally, pop culture particularly seems to honor people who maybe didn't do things that were honorable, but achieved fame and success nonetheless.
Yeah.
I think there's...
But is that honor, or is that just the cultural zeitgeist attaching themselves to something?
You used the word zeitgeist.
I did.
Why don't you help out our listeners who may not be familiar with that cool German term?
Zeitgeist is basically the cultural mob mentality. Think of it like everyone coming together and deciding, ooh, I like this thing. That's basically zeitgeist.
So it is because the mob says it is.
It is because the mob says it is, exactly.
Aha. Okay, well, there you go. So honor to show, is it show deference to?
I suppose it could be, but do you have to be deferent to someone to honor them?
I don't know.
Because deference is attached to subservience, kind of. It's at least you defer to someone. You admit that you don't know, and you go to this person to either ask for help or ask them what to do.
Or
that's what I think of.
Sometimes just respect.
Yeah. Again, respect is conflated. A lot of people have different definitions to it, especially in different contexts.
So let's talk about some of the places where we hear the word honor. One of the classics, honor thy mother and thy father.
I'm not familiar with that one.
You've never heard that? That's the old Bible.
Yeah, I know a few quotes from the Bible. I don't know if that was from the Bible, but the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which often gets conflated to blood is thicker than water, which is a completely different meaning for the same phrase.
Right, and kind of gross.
Yeah.
But no, one of the 10 Commandments, honor thy mother and thy father.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There you go. So there's honor, right?
What if you have a bad mother? What if your mother beat you as a child?
You're still, there's the, you exist.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gets kind of dicey.
Yeah.
Okay. Other types of honor. You have to honor, you earn honor as a soldier. Honor and
badges
duty,
of honor.
Badges of honor.
Yeah.
Right. So an honorable thing, but so much of war is so awful.
Yeah.
And by necessity becomes not necessarily honorable. It's survival at some point.
What is honorable combat?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because especially nowadays we have guerrilla tactics, which is just ambushes and separating the enemy from each other, which isn't very honorable because we're, by definition, not giving them a fight. Or is it honorable because we're trying to get the war over as fast as quick?
It's a very good question. And so you often hear honor lumped in with duty and courage. Honor, duty, courage. Those are all abstract concepts, but honoring something, it does seem to tie in the whole concept of. Well, okay, we use the word for honorarium. An honorarium is an amount of money that's paid to somebody because you appreciate something that they have done for you. Mm-hmm. It's not, you're not paying them for a job as much as you're saying, we appreciate you, and therefore we're giving you this honorarium.
So like a tip. And like
kind of like a tip, right? When we have judges come and judge our debate tournament, so, like if we hire, we don't hire them. We take somebody to a debate tournament. Sometimes we will pay them an honorarium.
Got it, but you're not required to?
No.
Okay, I see.
You're not. But it goes beyond I'm paying you for a service. It's like I appreciate you. I am honoring you by giving you this cash.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's that. Any other types of ways we can use honor?
What does someone have to do to become honored?
They have to do something that causes someone else to feel that they are worthy of being honored.
Is there an honorable mindset or mentality you can have?
Oh, okay. I think that goes into the idea of, I need to behave in a way that is honorable.
Yeah.
And so those things would tend to be the stuff that we label as altruistic, perhaps, or or selflessness. That's one that I can get on board with. That if somebody behaves in a very selfless way, then they are worthy of being honored. To go back to the Bible again, is that the first will be last and the last will be first. This whole idea of the servant king,
right.
The honor is given to the person that humbles themselves, and so that becomes interesting. That we honor those people who are willing to sacrifice for the good of others.
Right.
Now that's an old-fashioned way of looking at honor because, like I said, so much of today's, like when you brought up zeitgeist, we honor the dollar, and so those who game the system to become wealthy seem to be worthy of honor, the Elon Musks of the world,
right?
But not the most honorable people all the time,
especially when they're just like trust fund babies,
right? Or the politician that is doing things shady.
I'm not going to give an example. I had an example, but
right. But we're supposed to show honor to them because they're in a position of authority, or a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Now I can honor and respect the police that are willing to put their lives on the line to keep the rest of us safe. I think that's worthy of honor and respect. But if you've got a cop who's taking bribe money or is being, victimizing
they're using an honorable position for their own gain.
Yeah, and I've got huge disrespect for that.
Yeah.
But so honor, there you go. Okay, why do we call judges your honor?
That's a good question. If I had to make an assumption, it's probably because they're in a position that makes them have to make hard choices, and as such, they're honored, if I had to guess.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to this weird thing where a lot of times we call people heroes that are just doing their job. It's like a take on the John Mulaney bit where, the hero tutor helps kids after school. That's just what he does.
Yeah, that's his job.
If you do your job as a fireman, are you a hero? And you're fighting fires, but that's what you do for a living. So it's a good question. Is it honorable? Okay, and then there's this. Is it honorable to work really hard? Because our system is sort of based on trying to get people to believe that hard work is its own virtue, right?
Yeah.
And that if you'll work hard, that's a very honorable thing to do.
And if you work hard enough, you could reach the heavens. Or and if you aren't working hard enough and you are poor, or you are in a position where you can't get the things you want, you're just not working hard enough.
That's right. So, I just thought of another one. Mulan.
Right.
So there's like this sort of Eastern way of looking, and you don't hear about it. You have brought honor to our family, or you have brought dishonor to our family.
Which really comes down to reputation.
So it's reputation, but it's your behavior doesn't just dishonor you; it dishonors your whole family, and that's kind of a different way of looking at it too.
Yeah.
You honoring your behavior then shows honor to your family, or to your country, or to your religion, or to your school. Behaving in a certain way that doesn't just reflect on you, but reflects on who you are or what you're part of.
There's also the phrase "on my honor" when you're doing something, which is just saying, I promise you that I will do this, because if I don't, that will destroy my honor or my reputation.
Right, the Boy Scout. On my honor to do my best, to do my duty to God and my country, to help other people and old ladies across the street.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So lots to talk about with the honor. We covered lots of ground there.
Yeah. It's a very big word.
It is. It's a very big word. And I think that's all we've got time for in this episode of Words Mean Things. I'm Mr. Heath.
And I'm Steven.
We'll see you next week for Words Mean Thing Podcast. Bye-bye.